Okay, I just wrote down everybody's name.
Oh, good, because we're live. That's awesome. Hey, everybody. I'm Chris Charberdeau with SpinSheet Magazine, and with me is Molly Winans, also with SpinSheet Magazine.
Hey,
Welcome.
happy Friday. Welcome to SpinSheet Happy Hour.
Yeah, what do you know? It's another one. So it's Friday, and this is the second Red Hat special that we've done, and I'm like so excited about this one.
Yeah, well, I don't know if you remember how Red Hat Madness got started. It got started with a burnt out Molly Winans, and I couldn't think of a topic last year. Like, it's Christmas time. Let's have some fun. Let's just have something like Red Hat Madness. And I just made it up. And then I thought, oh my gosh, we have to fill an hour with Red Hat Madness. So we asked readers for their Red Hat stories and memories and pictures, and we're overwhelmed with the number of stories we got. So we thought that was really fun. Let's do it again. And this time we have a whole crowd coming with us. Last year, Shannon Hibbard, a sailor and photographer and longtime SpinSheet photographer, was on the show, and she couldn't make it this time, but we have a lot of special guests on the program tonight.
Yeah, totally excited. So if you're watching via Facebook or YouTube, obviously, share it with your peeps right now. Just say, hey, tune in, because this is going to be a good one. We've got a lot of great special guests lined up. So just before we start, I got to do my job, and that is to thank our sponsor and topic, the folks from Mount Gay. I don't know how many shows they've sponsored now, but it's been amazing, and they make it possible. If they don't sponsor us, we can't do this. So big shout out to them, and let's get rolling.
Yeah. Well, do you want to bring Kristen on, and we can sort of see what he's drinking down there in Florida? And
let's do that.
Hey, it's Kristen Berry, live from Florida. Hey, yeah. Kristen.
Hi, team. How we doing?
Hey, we're doing great. It's so great to have you back on the program. This is probably the fourth time you've been on the SpinSheet Happy Hour. Is that about right?
That sounds about right.
Yeah, that sounds about
always
right.
Feels like the first time, though, Molly. So I'm, I've got the butterflies. I'm nervous. I'm excited, and so a little sipper or something, makes me feel a little better about it. So.
Yeah. What are you sipping over there?
Well, the nice thing about Mount Gay is that the mixer doesn't really matter. That's why it's always Mount Gay and something. You want to lead with the Mount Gay, and then whatever else you got around works. So tonight it's some sort of pineapple juice or something along those lines. We're staying at an Airbnb, and we found something in the fridge, and it was half fermented as well. So it's organic, I'm sure, but quite tasty.
And it hadn't expired.
It's a twofer.
And we had a Mount Gay kind of day down here in Florida. I'm at the Davis Island Yacht Club, nice. J70 regatta, the first of 3 for this winter. And while we did our best to try to get off a couple of races today, we weren't able to complete any. So the Mount Gay flag was flying pretty early, and a lot of folks are still at the club having a good time.
Yeah. Good. But Davis Island Yacht Club, I have been there, and that is a lovely spot.
Oh my gosh, yeah. There's no bad day there for sure, and today was no exception. So it's kind of like sailing on an ice rink, flat water, no matter what the wind direction is, and we do get good breeze here. Today being one that was just too hard to pull off a fair race. It is a midwinter championship, so the standard is a little higher than it might have been for just a regular regatta. So they're working really hard to make it as good as they can. And we had a ton of fun. Everybody had a good race day today, and we're sorry we couldn't score it, but it was still okay. And you get to sit on the deck, watch the sunset as the dolphins play in the water and the birds fly across the sunset. I mean, it's pretty spectacular. It was 75 and not a cloud in the sky here. How was it in Annapolis today?
It was 55 and partly sunny. It was actually quite a pleasant day. Not bad.
I've always said, frostbiting in Annapolis, you're much more likely to get sunburn than frostbite. So
that's so true. What are you drinking over there, Sharp?
My favorite, Mount Gay and Ginger. I just noticed I'm using my Enron cup, but that's a whole other story altogether.
Oh yeah, well, we can have a full dialogue.
But Chris, it's not so. It's not that it isn't apropos. I mean, Enron is a throwback to a time long forgotten, and so are all of these red hats.
That's right.
So it makes sense.
But these are good memories.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Anyway,
So we have a bunch of special guests on the show. I'm going to put my pen down because I'm waving it around like a wand. We have a bunch of special guests on the show tonight, and one of them in particular is on vacation in Hawaii. And I can see that, Sharb, you are not in Florida. You are not in Hawaii. You are at the SpinSheet World Headquarters. I can tell by the sort of prison cell look behind you there in the Bat Cave. So sorry about that. But I know that's where you do your best, like directing and posting and pictures and stuff, and we appreciate.
This is going to be a very technical show, so I needed to be in the office.
So our special guest who is calling in from Hawaii is Jim Keene, who is currently the chair of the Screw Pile Regatta, one of my favorite Chesapeake Mount Gay sponsored regattas. So let's bring Jim on and be jealous of the palm trees in the background. Hi, Jim.
Hey, Molly. Hi, everybody. Thanks for
welcome to the SpinSheet Happy Hour.
Thank you very much. I'm sitting here, as you mentioned, in Hawaii. I'm at the Halakoa Hotel, the military hall in Waikiki Beach, under a banyan tree. And you might see the raindrops just literally started as you put me on. I might have to grab my computer and run a little under a little awning here.
Is it raining on your computer, Jim?
Yeah.
Because that might not be a good thing.
I think I can still manage to do this. I'm going to hold my computer and my red hats that I've got with me and my rum drink.
How many hands do you have?
Oh, my.
Well,
Only in Hawaii can it be sun flare and raindrops in the same shot.
Yeah.
well, they call these monkey pod trees. So anyway, I'm standing well under the tree now.
Okay,
again,
good.
I've got my rum drink here, but I have to admit, I couldn't smuggle my.
Oh no.
Uh-oh, we're losing Jim a little bit.
Mount Gay through TSA at Baltimore at BWI. Liquor. Okay. I can see you all and I can see me, but apparently you can't hear me.
Well, you're jumping in and out a little bit.
Okay. I'm still going to move a little bit here. I may be hidden by the banyan tree.
Yeah.
I'm just going to stand out here in the rain. Yeah, I'm drinking my modified rum punch. It's a pineapple juice, a little bit of orange juice squeezed in there, and a little bit of Pinot Grigio. So it's a very strange concoction, but I gave it a shot.
Especially at lunchtime.
Yeah, and it's lunchtime here, in fact. So I got a head start on you guys. Just about a little afternoon. But yeah, I'm happy to talk about Screw Pile and love to. I was going to show you my my Screw Pile my red hats that I have here, and
well, Jim, we don't see you very clearly.
So I'm a hard time.
Yeah, we're not seeing you very clearly on the screen. So
I need to give up the rain, go inside, dry off my computer, go into the green room, and maybe we can try it again. How's that?
Okay, that sounds like a good plan. Well, let's set Jim aside, and we'll talk to you in a little while.
Okay. All right.
Sharp? Okay, that's good. All right. We love Jim, but he is not quite sorted with a little rainstorm going here. So maybe put up a couple red hats, some of these great red hats that some of our guests sent us. We're going to start with Ann Petosis.
Yeah. Before I bring up the red hats, I got to tell everybody, we got a lot of submissions, and they're awesome.
They are.
And right before we came on, I had to kind of go in there and I wouldn't say edit them or anything like that, but I had to go in and just kind of prepare them to show and share them on the screens. And you'll notice that some of them are very close-up shots because you want to see, the I guess you know, where they are in the year and all that kind of stuff. But others I've kept back because the dirt and sweat stains are so impressive that you have to really appreciate what this hat is. You have to see the whole thing. So,
All right.
if those folks who sent these in are tuning in, just so you know, if it's backed up, it's an impressively dirty hat.
It was a little too high resolution.
Yeah.
Okay, can we start? Let's see. Ampetosa sent a hat.
Oh, hold on one second. Pata. I told you it's going to be technically very difficult. All right, go ahead.
There it is. That's J44, national champions, 94. That's pretty respectable in the age category. Thanks, Ann. Thanks for sending that hat. How about Bob Fox? Is that Bob Fox's hat there?
It should be.
Okay, so Bob Fox actually sent a story with his hat, and I was psyched about it. It said, I saw your Instagram post with the hat. I usually don't respond to such requests, but you forced me to go up into the dark depths of my closet and way up on the top shelf, find the bag buried under a bunch of old clothes that had my Mount Gay rum hats, pull them out to see what dates I did have. I have 2 from 96. I can't imagine that they're old enough to set any records. But the fun story was that I was in Barbados on business. I stayed an extra day to go to this distillery and take the tour. I got to see how they made rum and how it was aged and meet the taste tester. And at the end of the tour, I was enjoying the rum in their pub, and one of the staff walks up to me and sticks her finger on my chest and says, "Did you get the hat?" I was clueless and confused with a perplexed look, and I said, "What?" And she said, "Did you get the hat?" hitting my chest with her finger even harder. Still completely caught off guard, totally confused, I looked down and realized I was wearing an Annapolis Race Week t-shirt from 94 and 95 and the Mount Gay logo on it. I understood the question and responded, "No, I did not get the hat. I think they only handed out 3 hats to each of the skippers, and I was just a grunt on the boat and happy to have a ride." She said, "Wait here and let me see if I can find one." She ran off the stairs and a few minutes came back later with a 96 Atlantic Barbados Challenge, which was the start of his collection. He said, "I must have been like a kid at Christmas. She completely made my trip. The tour was great, and I got my hat. I've never worn it, so the hat is still like new. Thanks for forcing me to dig those hats out of my closet." Thanks for sending it, Bob. Love the story.
Yeah.
Brett Davis sent a hat too.
You know, Molly, today, while we were in postponement for most of the day, I went around and asked people about their red hat stories and told them that I would be on the air tonight and got some pretty incredible tales, some of which are not safe to tell, of course. But one of the things that was really interesting was talking about the question that woman just asked, which was, did you get the hat? There was a time where, you know, in a skipper's bag, there may have only been 1 or 2 or 3 hats, and they were like the game balls from an event. You know, not everybody got one. And so they were quite precious commodities for sure. And so the question of whether or not you got the hat, not only is, were you present, were you there, but also, did you stand out on your team? I think that's a cool question to ask.
Well, and I think it's still a thing. We'll have to ask our folks from the various regattas, but they don't get hats for all of their crew members. I mean, sometimes they only get a skipper hat, maybe 1 or 2 others. So,
right.
You know, when they have a crew of 8 or 9 people, as some of these bigger boats do, you know, who gets the hat is that's up to the skipper, you know, sort of as a thank you or a badge of honor or whatnot, right?
You got it. Yeah, absolutely.
Do you think Jim Keane is sorted over there? You want to try to get him back on?
I think, you know, he was, but he's not in there now.
Okay,
Sorry.
let's put Brett Davis's hat on there.
All right.
Is that it?
I think that's, or is that both?
It's called Brett Davis.
Well, I don't have names on these things. No, I think that's it.
I think those are still Bob Fox pictures, actually.
Oh, so you didn't tell me to change slides. I don't know if you can see it though on the screen though. There's a hair.
Yeah.
Right. All right. How about this? Is this it?
No, I think it's a single hat.
All right, we'll go back to this.
There it is. That's it. This one is, and this is from Brett Davis, and it says, this one is unique because the name of our boat embroidered at the factory. That must be on the back. Premier Crew was a, oh no, it says Premier Crew right there. Premier Crew was a J44 owned by Rod Billinge, inventor of the Mount Gay hat. Only 15 or 20 of these special hats were made. Sailing on Team Mount Gay had plenty of perks if you were willing to take the liver damage.
That's pretty cool. Molly, I have to go back one photo though, one picture.
Yeah.
And the only reason why is because this is a beautiful picture of some old hats.
I see what you've done there.
But if you look at the right-hand side, we have an imposter. We have an imposter in our midst. And I blocked it out as per our agreement with Mount Gay. And I don't know if you can really see it or not, but I was looking for something. Well, basically, I put a man that's about to club the animal.
Yes. Yeah.
Well done, Sharp. We know about that. We know about that other company that prints red hats. Yes.
All right. We can move on.
Well done. You're doing a good job there. All right. Let's do one more hat and see if we can bring Jim Keen on. That's Carol Vaughn's hat.
Wow.
And next we have Drew Mutch. Let me tell Drew Mutch's story. There it is. I just got those today. I want to thank Drew. Drew is a SpinSheet Century Club member. He is also a SpinSheet Racing Team member. And he wrote, here are two of my favorite Mount Gay hats. The Larchmont Yacht Club Race Week was acquired secondhand in college, more like borrowed from a teammate and worn to the point where he didn't want it back. It was often accompanied with their signature cocktail, the LYC Montesano Cooler. The Newport to Bermuda hat is more of a rarity, as Goslings quickly realized, that other company quickly realized they couldn't allow Bermuda to be run over by Mount Gay hats and started their own line of cranial apparel by 1998. This hat commemorated my second Bermuda race, but the first in which I was of legal drinking age at the finish. So thanks, Drew. Thank you for sending that.
You know, those hats could also be used by any number of sunscreen companies to indicate why, in addition to a bottle of rum, you ought to keep a bottle of sunscreen on board.
You know,
that's a healthy fade there.
Yeah, look at Chris Charbon over there taking notes. This is the company I'm calling next. Thanks.
That's how I'm going to retire.
Yeah. All right. Is Jim Keen ready to come on the screen yet?
Unfortunately, no. Jim.
Okay.
Jim
well, then let's show our little video.
Oh, okay.
Because we have a guest to bring on after that little video.
Okay. You're again, very technical show today. So give me a sec. All right. And now I will go back and share that screen. Oops. Sorry.
You know, Molly, while Chris is pulling up the video, I will share with everybody. We just recently built a house in Eastport. And we were running out of money. You know, it was during the pandemic. So we went ahead and insulated the house with old red Mount Gay hats because we had so many. It was the easiest thing to fill the walls with. And my wife was wondering what we were going to do with all those hats. And we finally found a solution.
You don't throw anything away.
Never.
That's going to be such a valuable Eastport house when you go to sell.
I mean, it'll only sell to a sailor. And, it's on the market, of course.
Always thinking. All right, let's check out this video. A little piece of history sent to us by Mount Gay.
Mount Gay rum has had a long association with sailors dating back to the 1700s. Legend has it that Mount Gay became the sailors' drink because it proved their sailing skill. Barbados, the home of Mount Gay rum, was the most difficult island from which to return to the European mainland. Sailors had to prove that they had been there by bringing back a barrel of Mount Gay rum. In modern times, the link between Mount Gay rum and sailors has become even stronger. One of the most cherished mementos of each of the 160 regattas around the world sponsored by Mount Gay is the famous red cap. It's memories. It's memories. It's you remember what regatta you were at and who you were with and what you were doing.
Mount Gay hat kind of marks a point of sailing, and usually it's a memorable time.
Everybody wants one. Everybody appreciates it.
I had well over 100. There's more than this. This is just the highlight reel. I tend to hand them out based on how I think the crew is, done over the weekend, who's helped out get the boat ready for the event, who's sailed really well over the weekend.
Well, number one, Mount Gay is a great drink, but two, they make you sail faster.
So it's a badge of honor.
It is. You can't buy them. You can only get them for them.
They're all different. They're all unique. They all have a date, a regatta, and a time. Sailors from around the globe consider these hats to be a badge of honor, which carry great memories for each sailor that wears one. The Mount Gay Rum logo has become an unofficial symbol of the sport of sailing and is visible wherever sailors gather. Mount Gay Rum continues to play a focal point in yacht racing and cruising around the world and has become as much a part of the sailing scene as the wind.
Yay! Well done,
Wow.
Gary Jobson. You like the little piece of Annapolis history there, huh? See
Yeah, totally.
some of our friends looking a little younger. I think this would be a great time to bring on Ted Rube from Sailing World.
There he is.
Hey guys, how are you? I forgot about that video. That was a while ago.
I know. Welcome to SpinSheet Happy Hour.
Well, I'm really happy to be here. Thanks for inviting me. This is my very first SpinSheet Happy Hour. So
Well, and I'm sorry about that. We're going to bring you back because we want to have Meet the Sailing Press on again, and we're
it's
going
been
to
a long pandemic, right? Yeah. So
Yeah, exactly. We had plenty of time to bring you back on. Apparently, the pandemic is still a thing.
Seems to be.
So, what are you drinking over there, Ted?
Oh, well, I've got my big Sailing World cup here filled with a little Mount Gay and some Regatta Club Soda, Regatta Craft Mixers Club Soda, and some Regatta Craft Mixers Tonic. So we're going to call that a Mount Gay Sonic. And that's the latest, greatest trend in Mount Gay drinking, actually. All
right. Well, Ted, why don't you tell us about the nude regattas and their connection to Mount Gay? I mean, it's everyone's favorite sort of first big regatta of spring in Annapolis. I know that.
That's true. The nude regatta started in 1988 up in Newport, and I actually somewhere around here have a 1989 Newport nude regatta hat because I think the first year we didn't get our act together to get the hats, but certainly. Annapolis, I think, has been the host to a nude regatta since 2000. And I think I got that hat too. This is my Block Island 1987 hat. So, got a few hats laying around. But we've got the St. Pete nude coming up in February, 18 to 20. And I happen to know that we've got one entry from the Eastport Yacht Club. And I don't know Marlene Plumley, but you guys might. But Marlene has entered
J70.
She's got her Melges 15 entered.
Oh, Marlene.
So congratulations to her for being the only person from Annapolis on the list so far to sign up. So sign up for St. Pete. If you got a J70, go on down there, and J80 or whatever you got. ACAT, we'll welcome you all. And so then we've got the Annapolis nude coming up May 13th to 15th, which is a little later than usual, but
it's a little later.
We had to squeeze into the crazy racing schedule somehow.
Yeah.
And I think it also had to do a little bit with the dates of Charleston, and we want to make sure that everybody can do as many regattas as they possibly can.
Well done.
Ted, I can tell you the talk of the town here in Tampa is just how excited people are about that St. Pete event and this women's division for the J70 that's coming together and how much energy there is around that. And, there are a lot of J70 teams that are here who are, looking for women's teams to come in and either charter their boats or borrow their boats to make that happen. And they'll, some of the J70 sailors here will find themselves on other boats. I know the person that I'm sailing with, Taz Coffey, is planning on chartering his boat to a women's team, and we'll be sailing Melges 15 at St. Pete. So you'll have a great Annapolis contingent and many more. And the innovation that's taking place at that event has got everybody excited in the J70 fleet for sure.
No, that's cool. No, I think we've got a couple of other things planned for St. Pete. Yeah, the women's division, I think we're going to have a top women's skipper trophy for the first time coming up. And then also we're going to hopefully, cross our fingers, have a foiling expo. So while everybody's sitting on the pier, they can watch some all kinds of foiling boats go by, and that's going to be, I think, during registration or something, but it's going to be pretty cool with all kinds of different kinds of foiling sailing craft. So we'll cross your fingers. You heard it here first. Hopefully that'll all come together. But and then we're going to do a distance race again. We're going to do, bring back the rally. I think everything you've always known happening at a nude regatta will happen again, including, knock on something really hard wood, the parties. And we didn't have parties for the last couple of years here in Annapolis, and we're hoping, one way or another, we'll be able to have a Mount Gay party. And Mount Gay's involvement has been crucial to the success of the events. It's great to have them on board. Obviously, since day one, we had the one interesting story about one time we had another sponsor, happened to be a gin-based product. It's the only nude regatta that I've been to where there was actually a fist fight that broke out at the trophy award ceremony. And my friend Jeff Morrison was dressed up as the Beefeater in the costume, and he broke up the fight. So that was a sight to be seen under the tent in Newport.
Wow.
So
All right.
no more gin sponsors, only rum.
Because people are so much friendlier when they drink rum, right?
Oh, it seems to be, but yeah, to stay away from the gin. So anyway, that's why rum, is the traditional drink of sailors. I like the Gary Jobson comment that it make them sail better. So
No, that's a good one.
I'm not sure if that's actually true.
Well, you ought to tell your friends at Mount Gay that, because they could wrap that into their marketing pretty well, I would think.
Well, the interesting thing about that video is that there was a whole slew of hats that I had, but there was one hat that didn't make the video. And this one is a special hat that was a hat that I got put together for my first wedding. Unfortunately, the hat outlasted the marriage, but it's a custom hat. So there we go. Ted, my name's on there, and long live that 1994. So there you go. Back in the bag.
Wow. Okay. Well, that is amazing. Thank you for sharing that. I didn't expect
That's one that didn't make that one didn't make the promotional reel for
too soon, right, Ted? Too soon.
I guess so. Probably. Yeah, it was probably too soon.
The most important part is the hat is still in great shape.
Yeah, the hats, and there's still, the amazing thing is that there's still a something that people hang on to and love. And like I said in that video, there are stories. They bring back memories. So if you can look at a hat and say, "Hey, I remember doing that race," that's you can't put numbers on that. That's amazing. It's magic that somebody said, "Hey, let's make up a hat for the regattas, and we'll put our logo on it, and everybody will love it." It's brilliant. So they've done a fantastic job, and we the relationship between Sailing World and the nude regattas and Mount Gay Rum go way, way, way back. And so I'm happy to be here. Thanks for inviting me, and we'll hope it continues. And we really, fingers crossed, we'll have some parties in Annapolis and in St. Pete and in Chicago and in Marblehead and in San Diego as well.
Hey, you know what? If we can have an outdoor boat show, I think maybe we should have an outdoor party in the springtime.
Well, the Annapolis party is planned to be outside. That's part of the deal right now.
Yeah. All right. Well, Ted, it's been a pleasure seeing you again. Last time I saw you was at the boat show. We had a good chat. But it's nice to see you online, and we'll bring you back on the show one other time. We'll do another meet the sailing press thing. And in the meantime, happy holidays to you, and thank you for being on the show.
Great to be here. Thank you.
All right. Take care.
Oh, sorry, cut him off.
Oh, sorry, didn't mean to cut
I
you
was
off.
too quick on the trigger.
I wonder. It's funny, it would be fun to put together a compilation of how many relationships have been born over a Mount Gay hat or a Mount Gay at a nude regatta or any other regatta. I know that my Mount Gay hats have always been amazing airport conversation starters.
Yeah.
and not just with sailors, right? So somebody will read where you've been or what the event was, and it spurs a question. And there's something about that weather-worn hat that just makes you look approachable, and people come up and ask questions. It's one of the easiest ways to get involved in a discussion about sailing that there is.
Yeah.
Did you see the comment from Marty Lostrom there?
Oh,
Can
yeah.
you pop that up?
I did.
Sure.
She wrote a race memory notes under the brim on a few of her hats, which is great. Thank you, Marty. You'll see later in the program a couple of your hats are part of our stream of pictures there. But I appreciate that comment. That's a great idea.
They are teed up. Yeah, I remember actually airport story. Saw a guy in a suit, and the dirtiest hat I've ever seen. I mean, I was like, man, he must love that hat.
He loves that hat. All right, I think we have Jim Keene back.
Jim is back, so
let's bring him back. Let's talk about one of our other favorite Mount Gay sponsor regattas. Jim, you're muted.
Hey, Jimmy.
Yeah, I see. Did he mute himself? You didn't mute him, did you?
I didn't mute him. I think I can unmute him. No, I can't.
No, I think he's muted himself. Jim, you're muted.
Do your sign again.
All right, I still have it. Yeah, I can pull that out.
Wait a minute, I got paper.
It worked last time. Jim, we can't hear you. You're muted. There he is.
Hey, there you are. Hey, Jim.
I'm having all this technical difficulty. I apologize. What you're looking at is a silhouette, so I'm going to switch around here and get the sun out of my back. I'm trying to prove that I'm in Hawaii. First, I started under a banyan tree. And now
Did he change shirts? Is that a new Hawaiian shirt too?
I took off my wet shirt. It was soaking wet.
It is.
Yeah. I'm a first timer here, so okay. Now,
hey, Jim, here's the key. It's the SpinSheet Happy Hour. We don't take ourselves too seriously. So we're happy you're here with us, even if you're in Hawaii, even if you're not on the screen.
All right. Yeah, now I'm moving my drink, but I gave up on that fake rum punch and just went straight to Pinot Grigio. Anyway.
You are on vacation after all. So.
Yeah, I'm getting organized here. Sorry about that. All right, so we were talking about.
Well, let's talk about the Screw Power Regatta. You guys have had a long relationship with
Yeah, I've been doing this I've been involved in it for years, but I've only been the chairman this is my third year. LG Rayleigh was our chairman for 27 years, and he did a great job, and basically Mr. Screwpile. He started with Ron Spacuzza back in 1992. So this is going to be our 30th year doing Screwpile.
Wow.
So we're pretty excited about that. It's kind of a neat thing. Of course, we did it for all those years, midsummer, July. And every once in a while we had a bad day where we had no wind. And but mostly we had got a lot of races out over the years. And then 2 years ago, we decided when the number of boats was steadily reducing after a high of 155 boats in 2006, we had like 40 boats in 2018, 19. Anyway, so we decided to try something different, mix it up, and we moved the regatta into late September and coupled it up with AYC's fall race to Solomon's. And as it turns out not that many boats stayed down there. It was supposed to be a feeder race. And we only had like 6 or 7 boats stay on for Screwpile. So after 2 years, we decided, and it just didn't feel right. We're racing on Sunday and Monday, a 2-day regatta on Sunday and Monday in September. And college kids were back at school, and high school kids were in school, and they couldn't race. And we had 37 boats. Now, this last year, we had great parties. We missed the parties, of course, the year before in 2019. Really good parties, great racing. Our ORC class of 12 boats. It was a very strong class. And we had a great regatta. So we felt like the energy out of that, maybe it was time to move back to July.
Yeah.
So our planning team made that decision right after the regatta in September. And when I was up in Annapolis at the boat show in October, I went by the SpinSheet booth, saw Molly. I said, Molly, we're moving screw pile back to July. It's going to be July 15th, 16th, and 17th. As soon as I said, she got this huge grin on her face. Said, back to the future.
Wait, I had another tagline, Jim, too. I also said,
The other
"We
tagline
like
was,
it hot."
we love it hot.
We like it hot.
We like it hot. So those are the taglines, and I'm going to be using those. In fact, I owe Brooke an input for ad in the January spin sheet, which is due on the 10th of this month. And I'll be working on that out here. And I'm going to plagiarize Molly's quote and use that line, some like it hot.
All right.
We like it hot. But Back to the Future is the big one.
I wonder how many of us will enter our boats as the DeLorean rather than their normal boat name.
Oh, yeah.
I know I'm entering that way.
Good idea. You have to be at least 50 years old to even know what Back to the Future is. I'm worried about that, I got to say.
Ouch. Ouch.
I would enter. I'm sure there's going to be a few McFlys in there too.
There you go. There you go.
Totally.
Yeah, but it's going to be a 3-day regatta, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, reclaim our natural spot in the middle of the summer, and be damned the hot couple days we may have. I look back in history, we didn't have that many days that we didn't race.
Yeah.
We had some days that people were under their awnings for a little while, waiting for the sea breeze to kick in at 1 o'clock, but we still got good races off. And of course, 3 years ago, we had 20 to 30.
Oh, yeah. We had some wind.
Yeah, and a little bit of rain and a lot of wind.
All right. So it's July 15th, right? We're going to put that on our calendars.
That's Friday, July 15th for 3 days for the full weekend.
All right, Jim. Well, thank you. Thank you for being on the program. We have 2 more guests to fit on here in about 12 minutes.
Please come back to our 30th screw pile.
All right. Well, thank you for being on the program. You're awesome. Have a great Hawaiian vacation. I'll let Brooke know you got an email to send her. And we're looking forward to going back to the future in July 2022.
Thank you very much, Molly.
All right. You take care, Jim.
See you guys.
All right. So we have another favorite Red Hat regatta that we should talk about before we bring on Tucker. Tucker Thompson's going to hop on here too. But before we bring on Tucker, let's bring on Paul Bo Bollinger from Chesapeake Region Accessible Boating. Hey, Bo.
How you doing, Molly?
Welcome to the SpinSheet Happy Hour.
It's great to be here. I've already gone through a glass of Mount Gay. No mixers either.
I know. Well, let's jump right to it. Why don't you tell us about the Crab Regatta, a little bit about your history with Mount Gay and what's happening in 2022 at the Crab. It's not the Crab Cup, right? It's the Crab
Yeah, it's
Cup.
a Crab Cup.
Right. Crab Cup.
Yep. That all changed.
Wait, I'm wearing a Crab Cup hat.
Thank you. And that all changed just real quickly. It all started with Don Backey, the founder of Crab, and a couple of people who were major marketing people saying that let's do an event. And they said, well, who do you go to if you want to do an event in Annapolis? Well, of course, you call Dick Franyo. And they got a hold of Dick. And Dick said, okay, I'll put my hamburgers and my crab cakes behind this event if we can get Mount Gay to make it a Mount Gay event. And they were successful in making that happen. So that was the start of the Boatyard Bar and Grill Regatta. So from there, 15 years ago, the event started, humble origins, and has built up now to be what was voted by What's Up magazine's readers as the best nonprofit party in Annapolis. So anybody that showed up in August of this past year and was able to walk away, I'm sure voted the same way, and it will be as big a crowd. We had 500 people of our closest friends, supporters. We had the comptroller of the state, the county executive, the mayor, senators, aldermen, everybody there wanting to be with Crab, and the skippers and crew who were all wearing their Mount Gay hats. And yes, we have to divvy those out. And I was listening to you all talk about who and how many they were given. And there was 3 hats per boat given out. And so we had about 85 boats in our race this past year, and we had decent wind. Fortunately, the Eastport Yacht Club race committee, we've come up now with 2 courses, a short one, no wind, and a longer course that is a wind course. And so we had the no wind course, which was perfect for the light winds, and worked out really, really well. Tough competition, and everybody really enjoyed it. 2 years ago, actually, it was the perfect weather for the crab sailboats, our Beneteau First 22s, and the team that had a Rear Admiral Lower Half who had a stroke, who was an All-American Naval Academy sailor, had 3 other Naval Academy All-Americans on his boat. And that boat won the Crab Cup. Cool. And it was incredible. It looked like cowboys and Indians because I was on the finish line. Everybody else has spinnakers flying for the line. And there's the crab boat with just a jib being held out with a boat hook. And they were being run down by the bigger boats.
Real quick, Bo, for anyone who's watching who's not familiar with Chesapeake Region accessible boating, can you just real quick tell them what it's all about and why the Crab Cup even exists?
Chesapeake Region Accessible Boating, better known as CRAB, is an organization that teaches sailing to people with disabilities, recovering warriors, and children from underserved communities. We've been in existence for 30 years. We take out about 1,000 guests a year, of which over 60% have a disability. The others are family members, caregivers, or friends who are out sailing with our guests. So we're excited that we're going to be moving to an adaptive boating center in Annapolis in 2022. It may not be during the sailing season, but it'll be under construction on Back Creek. And when we open up in 2022, it'll be the premier adaptive boating center in the entire United States. So when Annapolitans go around to other communities and race and sail, they will be able to say, when they talk about about Annapolis being the sailing capital, this is going to be one of those jewels in that crown. So it's going to be spectacular.
Well, we're really, really looking forward to having the Annapolis what are we calling it? The Adaptive Boating Center.
Right. Yep. And as I mentioned, Molly, we're one crown 2 of the Triple Crown charity sailing, sponsored by Weems and Plath. And this year we were very honored to award the trophy to John Dodge. And in second place was John Heinz and his Harbor 20. John Dodge was borrowing Italia yachts from his friends and racing. And he raised nearly $25,000 for the 3 charities this year, which are the Leukemia Cup in June, the Crab Cup in August, and the Hospice Cup in September. So we invite everybody to compete in this race. And it's one of SpinSheet's favorite events too, for promoting people to compete in the Triple Crown and support the charities in this area. And I can tell you, it is the only trophy of its nature in the entire United States, which means the world.
Yeah. Well, I love supporting the Triple Crown and Crab, and I really appreciate your being on the program, Bo. And we love Crab. We love the Crab Regatta. And look forward to seeing you around Annapolis soon, and look forward to the 2022 version of the Crab Regatta. So happy holidays to you. Thanks for being on the program.
Thank you very much, Molly, Chris, KB. You guys are great. I enjoyed it very much. Have a great evening.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you. Molly, you'll like this. You know, the crab regatta, I think, is gaining a lot of momentum and energy and recognition around the country. There are 60 top flight J70 teams here in Tampa, and while there weren't as many crab hats as there were Mount Gay hats walking around the parking lot today, I did see 3 crab hats, 2 of which were on the heads of people I didn't recognize, and
Wow,
so
all right.
that's pretty cool to see. That they're getting some exposure at events as high profile as this one.
Heck yeah. Well, hey, if we're going to talk about high profile, do you think we should bring Tucker Thompson on yet? How drunk do you think he is back there?
He's been back there for a while. I've been monitoring
Left him alone with his rum drink. For
I
a
can
week.
see him in the green room, and it's ugly.
All right, when a
bad. It's bad. Oh man. Hey, Molly, Chris, and Kristen, I just want to say thank you. I'm honored to be part of the show. And my only complaint is going last means while the rest of you have been talking, I have been drinking 2 Mount Gay rum drink. Remember, this started full when we first logged on. But I will say one thing: Mount Gay rum, over the many years that I've done regattas, has taught me one thing. When you get in those long lines at the regatta parties to get your Mount Gay rum drink, the lines are sometimes so long. Always order 2. So I showed up to your show tonight with 2 full Mount Gay rum drinks. One is almost complete. Well, this one's almost gone too. So thank you for finally getting to me, and thank you for having me on the show. I'm honored.
Well, you know, Tucker, I can't believe this is the first time you've been on the program. And I have to say that to have you and KB on the screen at the same time, I mean, people tell me I have a voice for radio, but I am such the amateur compared to you two. So,
well, Molly, what they say is I have a face for radio. So that's,
Kristen, no I could only be as good as you one day, man. I'm coming after you. You've got the best voice, dude.
I have dreamt of being on the big screen with Tucker for many, many years, and it's happening. I can't believe it.
I'll drink to that. I'll drink to that, Chris.
We make dreams come true.
Yeah, I'll drink to that too.
I know you're full of it. You know how I know you're full of it is when your lips are moving. I can tell. So wait, Molly and Chris, I want to ask you guys a question. Kristen brought up something a little bit earlier. He said he wanted to know how many relationships had started because of Mount Gay. And you had Ted Rug on who talked about the nude regattas and Mount Gay's involvement there. So I want to edit what you said, Kristen. I want to know how many relationships that started with Mount Gay ended up in the nude.
Yes.
I don't have my rim shot sound effect.
I mean, come on, right? Right. Look, Kristen knows of at least one just based on the fact that he's speechless. Look,
that's right. You got it.
That's how fun. Kristen got married, you know.
Yes. Well, Ted was the one who mentioned. Never mind. We won't go into it. That was pretty cool how Ted had a special.
So Tucker, why don't you tell us a little bit about your relationship with Mount Gay rum and this year and how things evolved with the cup and kind of, I mean. Last I checked, your title was public host for the America's Cup. Where are you right now?
Totally unemployed. That's the problem with the America's Cup. No matter how high you get, when another team wins, every next morning, including the sailors, are unemployed. But to go back to what you asked and actually talk about the America's Cup for 1 second, I have a Mount Gay hat that has become a collector's edition.
Ooh, very cool.
You can see, these were supposed to go on, so hopefully we'll see American Magic continue on. Mount Gay Rum was a sponsor of that America's Cup team, and I got involved promoting a New York Yacht Club American Magic, and that evolved into a show called the Cup Experience. We did a pre-race show online. You remember, because everybody was in lockdown, so I never made it to New Zealand with the team, but I ended up promoting the team and ultimately covering the America's Cup each night before the race started. In New Zealand, and that relationship that I started with, or Mount Gay rather, was one of the partners of American Magic. They signed on for the Cup Experience, and then when that was over, I went back to my normal yacht club shows. I travel around the country doing shows at 30 or 40 yacht clubs a year, and Mount Gay signed on. So too, and I know Ted mentioned them earlier, did Regatta Craft Mixers, and Regatta Craft Mixers would partner with Mount Gay. And they would create these themed drinks, and they'd name the themes after the America's Cup. So as a joke, it was so successful that as a joke, I sent them an email and I said, listen, the themed drinks are so popular at these yacht clubs that I travel to. I think we should come up with a new one called a Tucker punch, which is basically a rum punch, and everyone would drink them and get Tucker punched by the end of the night. Well, that was a joke. They took it so seriously, they sent a whole social media campaign out about it with Mount Gay rum and Regatta craft mixers and Tucker punch, and they put it on the menu. So now whenever I do a yacht club show, you've got to get Tucker punched.
Nice.
Excellent.
We need the recipe. Maybe we can get Dario to come on the show and teach us how to make our own Tucker punch if it's not, proprietary.
So Dario, as you know, is one of the experts at Mount Gay rum. And I first met him online last year during one of our Cup Experience shows. We did a special feature on Mount Gay rum. And he taught us, when you go to Napa and you do a whole wine tasting, we did a rum tasting. And they fortunately shipped me all the product ahead of time. There's a lot that is gone now. But here's what I learned. And this is what's kind of cool, because all the sailors watching your show who have been to these regattas and have the Mount Gay hats are drinking Eclipse, Mount Gay Eclipse rum, which is their mixer, and you get that at the regattas. But what you might not know is that they've got a bunch of different brands, Black Barrel and Extra Old. My favorite is the Black Barrel. In fact, when my guests come over, I shouldn't say this. When my guests come over, I serve this, and then when they're gone, I start drinking this. They're incredibly. I'll give you an example. They're so good to drink plain, without straight up without a mixer. That one of the yacht club shows I did in Northern Florida, there was an old gentleman at the bar, and I went to the bar and I ordered a rum and Coke, which is I always do at Mount Gay and Coke, of course, before I go on stage. And the gentleman looked at me and he said, "You don't want that. Don't bother putting Coke in that. This is the good stuff. They just brought it in today." And I didn't have the heart to tell him that I was the reason that, the Extra Old and the Black Barrel had come in. But he told me to take the Coke away from it, and I didn't want to be rude. So I ended up having this full pint glass of Mount Gay rum before I went on stage.
And there's the recipe for the Tucker punch.
Yeah, exactly.
No mixer.
Kristen with the closer. That's exactly right. I Tucker punched myself.
The first rule of Fight Club.
Now, Tucker, did they send you the bottle of 1703?
Yes, that is in a closet locked up downstairs, to be quite honest.
Damn, I thought I was the only one. I was really wishing they hadn't. I'd be like, just send it to me.
Yeah.
But here's the point. Everyone's had Eclipse rum and whatever mixers. Kristen said, doesn't matter what it is. You start with Mount Gay first. You've got to try the 1703. You've got to try the Extra Old. You've got to try the Black Barrel. And there are other brands online. And that's, a lot of sailors might not know just how many brands Mount Gay has. Try them. I mean, it's fantastic rum. I'm not just saying that because we're all wearing Mount Gay gear. It really is. It really is special.
No, it is.
And it's probably because a lot of sailors like things that are free.
And alcohol.
It's really not that complicated.
Kristen knows. Remember the old joke? My drinking team has a sailing problem.
Exactly. I just had to quiet my sailing team down. I was like, and it's because they've been drinking Mount Gay rum all afternoon.
Yeah. No, it is pretty cool. You guys talked about the history of the red hats and how it's a badge of honor to earn them, and how Mount Gay, I think, has really become synonymous with the sport of sailing. I mean, they've really become part of the fabric or the culture of sailing. And in many ways, they've defined sailing and competitive sailing just as much as sailing has defined Mount Gay. The two brands, if you will, are intertwined. And I give Mount Gay a lot of credit because they didn't just sponsor sailing; they became part of what sailing is. And when you wear one of these, it's recognized around the world as really a badge of honor.
So Jose Tercios is asking, which one is the one that they only have at the distillery? It was quite delicious. Do you know the answer to that one?
Wow.
Rum.
Sorry, Jose, we don't. We don't.
That, you know what though? I'd love to find out because that could be.
Molly, the next time I get invited onto this show, maybe we should do it from Barbados. Don't you think?
That's brilliant. I was just going to say that.
Don't you think maybe Mount Gay wants to send all of us to Barbados?
Yeah.
Well, four of us would have so much fun there.
He says it was $20 to $5 or $35 a shot. That might have been 1703. But you know what? You guys might want to bring, if you can't get to Barbados, bring Barbados to your next happy hour. See if you can get Dario on or somebody from the distillery to do a video tour. And really, the way Dario did in our video, He explained what goes into the rum and how to taste all the different flavors. And I was drunk by the end of the show. But what's interesting is, of all the America's Cup shows we did that were sponsored by Mount Gay, the one that was most watched by a factor of 3 to 1, I think, was the Mount Gay Rum Show. I think that tells you something.
It brings everybody together. There's no doubt about that.
That's why we keep doing it.
Do you know what year they launched the hats?
Can I be honest? This is slightly embarrassing, but I crammed my way through college. While you guys were talking, I Googled it. I was reading it. No time like the last minute. And so it was in the early 80s. But you mentioned the person's name who invented it. I don't know what the first regatta was, but I'd love to know what the oldest existing Mount Gay hat is. You guys had a 1984, I think, was the oldest one.
This year of the hats that were sent to us, 87 was the oldest.
87. Okay, so that might
be.
be.
But I can't remember last year's batch, and I'm not sure where I put them. So
I can't remember. Kristen, she says Mount Gay, and I can't remember in the same sentence.
Well, we have a number of pictures that I would really like to show before we. I mean, we're at last call, but do you think we can like bang through a bunch of the pictures and make sure that? All right, can you tell me? Oh, I know whose hat that is. That's Emily Decker.
89.
That's Emily Decker's. All right, that's great. Right after Emily's, I would like to show the Fretz family hats. Can you put those up? Wait. Oh, you started at the beginning.
Oh, hold on.
Emily's got the oldest.
That's Emily Decker. 89. Okay, so that's the Fretz family boat, the Wahoo. Yeah. And keep going, Wahoo, and let's see the hat. So that came with an awesome note. That came from the Fretz family. It says, this well-loved, that's an 88 hat. This well-loved red hat has some nautical miles on it. It brings our family fond memories of racing Wahoo up and down the East Coast when my dad, Henry Fretz, was alive. And that was sent by Joan, Heather, and Kevin Fretz, the Fretz family. So,
hey, Molly, I have a little add-on to that story. I did a week of volunteer coaching at SSA and was actually able to coach some of the grandchildren of the Fretz family. And there was an old Mount Gay hat on. This little girl, I mean, she's teeny tiny, and she was talking about her grandpa and sailing on the Wahoo, and to see her in a little Mount Gay hat, it was so cute. And the Wahoo legend goes on. That's what's very cool about that family and that boat.
You know what else is amazing about that hat? If it doesn't look like a hat or resemble anything like the color red, you know it's old.
Right. Well, I love that story so much that we're gonna send some new red hats to the Fretzes. They need some. So if they're watching the show tonight, please send me on email, send me your address. I'll send you guys a few fresh hats so you can create some new memories with those. And we have just a couple other hats I wanted to put through. Heidi Frist. That's from the Boatyard Bar and Grill Regatta, which is now the Crab Cup. Heidi said that's her first red hat, and that's the first year she started sailing, which kind of surprised me because, Heidi is really active in the sailing scene, and that wasn't that long ago. So way to go, Heidi. She went all in with sailing. So we have Elizabeth Pham's hat. It's from 95. That's a good one. Jack Reagan, there's no hat for Jack, but he said he told a sad tale, and that was he was donating clothes and he accidentally donated a bag of red hats. So Jack, sorry about that, man. We're going to send you a red hat to make up for that. But this hat that's up on the screen, that was sent by John Barry. And he wrote, does anyone have a watch cap? And someone wrote back, I did. And it was Todd Moffett wrote it. I had one. That was a bone-chilling parade of lights. And John wrote to him 94, and he said, yeah, I think so. I understand they don't allow commercial entries anymore. This is to the Eastport Lights Club Yacht Club Parade. And it said, maybe they got in trouble because of the public distribution of mini Mount Gay bottles. And he said it was a frigid day, and we had a lighted Mount Gay rum bottle on the bow of a Mariner sailboat in the parade back then. Now that hat is Jose Tercios's hat, and Jose, that's disgusting, man.
And again, I go back to my first comment. I couldn't zoom in on this one. You have to see the entire hat.
Yeah, We're actually going to send you a new hat too, Jose. Jose's a SpinSheet Century Club member, so he kind of uses his hats a lot. So we're going to send him a new hat too. Next hat after that is Lisa Shore's hat. Thank you for sending. Then there's Marty. Let's put up Marty had sent a couple hats.
Wow.
There's a bunch of her hats.
Wow.
The Chicago Mac one. That's a Verve cup. There, Chicago Matt. She said that was the toughest and hardest on her body and mind of any race she's ever done. It was her 8th MAC race in 1999. So thanks for sending that, Marty. We have one from Matt Pavin, older hat. There it is. Solons. Michael Falk. Leukemia cup. Ned
Again, a
Dozier.
long shot to just get the sweat stain.
Yeah, that's kind of gross too. Ned Dozier sent a few, and there was a little bit of a mystery on dates because that looks like it says 87, the second, and then the next one is the 3rd annual, and it's in the 90s. So anyway, that was either a typo. I think it might have been a typo because that's the Brent Halsey Regatta, which is now the Stingray Point Regatta out of Fishing Bay Yacht Club, and I believe that did start in the 90s. So Patrick Hyland is the next hat. There it is, the Level Regatta. Peter Cunningham.
Cool.
Okay, I want you to get to Ron Hobie Hetherington's hat, which I think is next. Keep going.
Okay, I don't have them named, so you just got to tell me if it is.
All right, keep going. Stop.
I saw this.
That's awesome.
The MRE Tug of War hat, 2011. I'm like, I don't know if that's an official Mount Gay hat or if that's a little bit. We need
That might be a little brand infringement there.
I was
but
going to
that's a
say,
good
I was going to
look.
ask you before the show, but I
So
forgot.
that's that one of my questions was, remember Dario taught us something about the red star on the logo. Do you remember what it was he taught us about that?
Well, it moved, or they didn't have it on there originally, or something like that.
Yeah, or something like that.
The
Anyway, we're
official
going to have to ask
logo
him
has
about
the
that. We'll
star.
show him that picture. I mean, we don't want to get the nude regatta in trouble, but
It's got to
Okay,
be where
so-
the distillery is located, right?
I think so.
yeah. And it's down sort of more southerly, I believe, or I don't know. I can't find my Key West hat.
Well, even though
there
I'm
is-
afraid that the MRE might get sued, I just think that this is just such a great display of what the MRE
cool.
does.
Well, we're out of time, but I do want to show Sarah Aiken. Sarah Aikens is the next hat after that one. Oh no, that's
There it is.
okay.
That's good.
Stop right there. So I got that hat today. That's from Stan Carroll, who's the director of Sales Charlevoix and up in Michigan. And he wrote, I was once a Chesapeake Bay sailor, now Northern Lake, Michigan. I always enjoy reading SpinSheet to keep up on the Bay happenings. I do get back every year to race in the nudes on the J30 Avita. In fact, we just had our last race up here last Sunday, the Cranberry Cup in Charlevoix on J22s. And then he said, it gets kind of cold up here, so good crew can be hard to find. Then it gets a little warmer, and they just melt away. Stan, we're going to send you a hat for that. We love that.
Pretty
Thank
good.
you.
Great.
So these couple of pictures are from Stan. I'm not sure where Sarah Aikens is now in the mix. I might have gotten a little mixed up.
Is that it? Those are some impressive dirty hats.
Yeah. Those are Stan Carroll's.
Oh, all right.
Oh, and then the Christmas tree hat. That's fantastic. That's fantastic right there.
94.
All right. Well, I'm not sure where Sarah's picture is, but I'm just going to read her little story and then we'll wrap things up because we've gone late. And it's my fault because I invited too many guests and I'm having fun with you guys. But Sarah Aiken wrote, my husband's Mount Gay racing hat was very much admired by a waiter at 49 West Cafe one morning last month. The next day when my husband returned and gave the waiter a new Mount Gay hat, his reaction was overwhelming. The waiter put the hat on and told everyone he encountered about the significance of the hat, beaming with pride. He had raced last summer with the hat, and the hat was a sailor's badge of honor. My father was awarded the Légion d'Honneur Medal, France's highest distinction by the French. In many ways, the hat holds the same honor among sailors.
Ooh.
Cool.
I thought that was just a really nice way to put it. Nice. Sarah's a active sailor and captain around here, also quite active in the Crab Cup. So anyway, that seems like a good story to end the show on. And thank you guys for hanging in there. This was our longest show of the year.
That's right.
Thank you.
Ted's been hanging out in the green room.
I love the hats. It's all about the hat.
Hey, Molly and Chris and Kristen, I just wanted to say thank you for having me on my first time as well for the happy hour here at SpinSheet. And I got started with SpinSheet in the very first edition so many years ago. But I just want to say on behalf of all the sailors around the world that have enjoyed it, thank you very much to Mount Gay. Pardon the pun, my hat's off to you.
All right.
You're here.
Tucker, you're going to put me out of a job.
No.
All right, folks. Well, again, thank you for tuning in. This was the longest happy hour we've had. Appreciate you sticking around, and we'll let you know the next time we come up. And until then, enjoy the holidays, because we won't be back until January. And, be safe. Take care, everybody.
Cheers.
Everybody have a great weekend.
Have a good one.